Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 3.3, white spaces. This is the second category of basic elements of a C program. You should not limit white spaces to blank spaces. You must understand it in a broader way, in a broader sense. White spaces include blank spaces, horizontal tabs, new line sequences, indentation, etc. and all that. By writing white spaces, we can improve the readability of a program, of a source program. As I told you many times, readability is one of the essential characteristics of a C program or any other program. Readability is very important. So, by inserting appropriate white spaces in the source code, you can improve the readability of the source program. Here, one thing you must understand, every program is set of a composition of tokens. The syntactical requirement is two tokens should be separated by minimum one blank space. Just for example, now you see int age 20. This code we are writing. In this, 5 tokens are there. Int, it is a data type, it is a variable or identifier, this is an operator, this is an integer literal, this is a separator. So, by composing 5 types of tokens, we have developed a declaration statement. What is the minimum requirement? Syntactical requirement is 2 tokens should be separated minimum one blank space. Suppose if you write this one, the same statement like this, it leads to an error. What is the problem in this? Actually, 5 tokens are not separated by blank spaces. In this context, one very important thing I have to tell you. Here the minimum requirement is placing one blank space. Instead of one blank space, if you put 80 blank spaces also, compiler does not bother. It simply ignores that. That's why earlier in the previous chapters I told you, C is a free-form language. Free-form language means whatever elements it requires in a program according to the syntax rules, those elements are present, it does not make any complaint. If those are written strictly subject to the syntax rules of the language, it does not bother. Now you see, this is the value statement. In this case, each token I have separated with a single blank space. The same thing I am writing like this. Now I have written all the 5 tokens in 5 lines. You may get a doubt whether it works or not. 100% it works. How it works and all that, in the same manner it is executed. Here, what is the difference between these two statements? This is also a statement, of course unconventional. Here you left one space, here you are leaving many spaces. I do not know. You are leaving many spaces. So, however, tokens are separately written and all that. All those spaces are blank spaces are ignored by the compiler, and it treats the 5 elements at par with this. That's why compiler compiles it properly, as there is no mistake in that according to the syntax rules and all that, it is properly executed. So, always remember one thing, leave one blank space. Leaving one blank space is a must. Syntactically, it is essential. Or otherwise, if you don't leave single blank space, then it leads to an error. Instead of one blank space, if you write Many blank spaces also compiler does not complain, simply it ignores that. If you write illogically, if you write many blank spaces, you are doing it at the cost of readability. As readability is one of the essential characteristics of the program, you must follow that. So, all good conventions and all that you should follow. Then only you will become a good programmer. It is like if you are improving the readability, means you are writing any text with a good handwriting. It is equivalent to have good handwriting. If you have good handwriting and all that, what advantage you get in the real life, you know. In the same way, if you follow conventions, good conventions, and write the code, then the impact is exactly the same. That you have to understand that. And here, indentation. This is the term very frequently we use. Indentation means leaving spaces before a line. Actually, now you see how we are writing our programs. If you observe our previous programs, we are writing like this. Now, here, suppose this is the margin. Here, few lines, few spaces we are leaving. Thereafter, two spaces we are leaving, and exactly below that we are writing. Now we see a block structure. Actually, all these programming languages, C family of languages, are block structured languages. So code is code is embedded within the block. So you have to create a block clearly. This is the indentation. This improves the readability. So you can understand where this block is started, where it block is ended, because there may be deeper nesting of blocks. Now you see, within the block another block may come. Later you understand, don't worry about the necessity of creating blocks and all that. Here our context is how to use white spaces. So this is called indentation. Indentation. If you follow a proper indentation, your code is highly readable. It improves the readability, and in case of debugging and all that, you can easily identify where is the block, where block starts, where block ends. That is very important and all that. This is one style. Actually, different programmers follow different styles and all that. This is one style. For the same thing, another style I show you. Some programmer, especially in Western countries and all that, they use this indentation. Actually, we are writing the opening brace here. They write opening brace there. All the styles you have to understand. And if it is a simpler code within the program, some people may write like this also. Actually, three styles I am showing. Whatever style you like, you may follow that. Nothing wrong in that. All these are valid styles only. But one thing I am telling you, within a single program, you don't apply different styles for same type of elements. Suppose in one program you are defining three functions. For one function this style, other function this style, other function this style is not at all advisable. It is a very bad practice. It represents your inconsistency. Actually, you must maintain the consistency in style. So you must, whatever you like and all that, the style throughout the program you follow. Always I am telling you, your program speaks, it documents about your maturity. If you follow this type of inconsistent styles and all that, you are documenting your indiscipline or ignorance. That's why always you understand whatever element you are writing in the program, you must understand why you are writing like that, what is the background, what are the conventions, what are the good conventions, what are the bad, all that you must understand and apply in the program. In this context, one thing I have to tell you, whatever good practice you follow, you practice from the day one, the same is continued. That's why from the beginning I am focusing on good programming practices. You must strictly follow them, whatever you like. When when alternatives are there and all that, whatever style you like, you follow that throughout. Throughout, every time changing your style is not a good practice and all that. So, initially, if you don't follow good practices and all that, thereafter you may not follow that, because it is like practicing a signature. Once you practice a signature, throughout your life you may use the same signature. After some time, if you want to change it also, it is very difficult for you to change, and automatically the original signature is retrieved. That's why from the day one you understand good styles and follow that. In this context, I would like to show you, by inserting appropriate white spaces, how you can improve the readability of the code. Here I have written a statement with the certain contents and all that, and the same statement I have rewritten by inserting appropriate blank spaces. Both are same. If these statements are executed, the results are 100% same. But in this statement, you are not giving any blank spaces. Simply have written all the elements in a sequentially without leaving any extra blank spaces and all that. That's why it is missing the readability, one of the essential characteristics of a program. Now in this case, you see, every element you are able to detailedly read. By that you never commit a mistake. You can easily understand the code. That is readability. So by inserting appropriate white spaces, here I am inserting only blank spaces. White spaces means you have to take in a broader sense. Then you can improve the readability of the source program. And in this context, some specific conventions I have to explain. You must strictly follow them. By that you can make your code more readable. First thing, whenever you use binary operators means they act upon two operands. Now you see, whenever suppose plus, minus, multiplication, division, all these they act upon two operands. Now you see, a plus b, a minus b, a into b, a by b. Whenever you write a binary operator, leave space around it. From the beginning, you please follow this. By that, now you see, your code will be more readable. So as far as binary operators are concerned, leave space around it. That's the first principle. Second one, whenever you are using unary operators means they act upon only one operand. Now you see, minus a plus b, c plus c. These are all unary operators. Why they are called unary operators? They act upon only one operand. So whenever you are using unary operators, then don't leave space between the operator and operand. Now we see, here I left space around it. Here I am not leaving any space around it. This point you remember. And third one, twin symbol operators. Certain operators are having twin symbols. So double symbols. Whenever you are using that operator, don't leave any space between the symbols. Plus, don't leave any space. Minus, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. Like that, certain twin symbols are there. And whenever you are writing these symbols and all, then don't leave space. And this is unary, then don't leave space here. That also you must remember. Next, whenever you are writing functions, Then now you see, with every program you are writing main. Don't leave space between the identifier and the parenthesis. This always you follow for any function. Now pow function is there. Don't leave any space. Square root. So don't leave any space, that you follow. Next thing is certain keywords you write like functions only. Those are looking like functions, but those are keywords, those are not functions. For them, leave space. Suppose if it is a keyword, then don't leave space. Okay. While this is a loop statement, leave space. Next, for this is one of the loop statement, leave space. Understand? So like that, all the things from the day one you follow these conventions. Once you get maturity and all that, if you want to adopt them, and it's not possible, what you follow on the day one, the same is continued. That point you must remember, and always give first priority to the readability of the code. It is like you are having a good handwriting. If we have good handwriting, you get the good impression. In the same way, if you follow all these conventions while writing the program, then you get the first impression. And people, whoever reads your code and all that, they get a good impression on you. That is always essential for a programmer.